is Irina Bihambali, a BSED Math student. This article reviews the current state, definition, standards, tools, and challenges for cyber threat intelligence or CTI. It identifies critical issues in CTI adoption, particularly with data quality, information overload, and the lack of unified standards for threat sharing. So our research or journal that we chose is Cyber Threat Intelligence Issue and Challenges. The research addresses the rapidly evolving landscape of cyber threats, where the organizations are increasingly targeted by sophisticated and well-funded criminals. As a result, cyber threat intelligence or CTI has become a crucial area of focus for organizations aiming to defend against these threats. So the purpose of this study or the main goal of this paper is to review and analyze existing research related to CTI or cyber threat intelligence. It seeks to answer the fundamental questions such as what is CTI or the cyber threat intelligence, what are the current products, services, standards, and tools in use, and also what are the main challenges faced in this field. So there are key findings. First is there is no universally agreed upon definition of CTI. Both organizations and vendors often lack of clear understanding of what constitutes CTI, highlights the needs for the further research to clarify each definitions. Second is to identify current CTI products and services such as threat intelligence, data feeds, standards, and tools. Efforts are being made, especially in financial sector, to share relevant threat intelligence data. For example, the Financial Service Information Sharing and Analysis Center, or FSISAC, to collaborate globally to address the critical security threats. Next is Research and Development Center like MITRE are working on the standards format, such as STIX, TAXII, and the sidebox to improve the interoperability in the threat intelligence sharing. The paper highlights for the main research challenges in CTI or cyber threat intelligence. First is defining what information qualifies as CTI or cyber threat intelligence. Second is developing and adopting standards for sharing threat intelligence. Third, managing the large volume of threat data and ensuring data quality. Fourth, the needs for skilled analysis to convert raw threat data into actionable intelligence. With the increasing volume of threat data, the demand for qualified analysis and effective CTI tool is greater than ever, while the data quality is less of an issue now. The adoption and effective issue of CTI or cyber threat intelligence still require further research, and especially as organization states to turn data into actionable intelligence. In summary, this research reviews the current state of CTI or cyber threat intelligence, identifies the key issues and challenges, and also to emphasize the needs for clear definitions for the better standards and more skills professional to fully realize the benefits of cyber threat intelligence.
Hi everyone, I am Arlina Samson, a BSED Math student. The cyber threat landscape is becoming increasingly difficult to manage as attackers exploit weaknesses across people, processes, and technology. Cyber criminals are now more advanced, organized, and financially driven, using sophisticated methods that are hard to detect and respond to. Incidents like the 2017 WannaCry ransomware attack demonstrate how quickly and widely these threats can spread. As a result, cyber threat intelligence or the CTI has emerged as a key solution, helping organizations understand and respond to threats. However, while many rely on threat data from various sources, they often face challenges like data overload and a lack of actionable insights. The contemporary threat landscape presents significant challenges to cybersecurity. Attackers' capabilities to exploit vulnerabilities in system processes and human factors have evolved rapidly. leading to a dramatic increase in the frequency and the severity of security breaches. This evolution is characterized by increasingly sophisticated tactics, techniques, and procedures, or the TTPs, employed by cybercriminals, rendering traditional security measures less effective. These advanced TTPs often manifest as highly persistent, well-funded, and organized attacks, frequently motivated by financial gain or geopolitical objectives. The proliferation of ransomware attacks, exemplified by the widespread WannaCry outbreak of 2017, underscores the urgency of addressing these challenges. Such attacks highlight the limitation of reactive approaches and the critical need for proactive intelligence driven cybersecurity strategies. The sheer volume and complexity of threat information further exacerbate the situation, while the availability of threat intelligence from diverse sources, including open source and commercial feeds, has increased. The resulting information overload presents a significant hurdle to effective analysis and action. So, this data deluge necessitates the development of robust frameworks and methodologies for managing, analyzing, and disseminating actionable intelligence. The absence of a standardized definition and approach of cyber threat intelligence, or the CTI, among information security vendors and the research of community hinders effective collaboration and information sharing. This lack of consensus complicates the development of complicates measurements and undermines collective efforts to enhance global cybersecurity. So, this paper aims to address these challenges by providing a comprehensive review of the current state of CTI. It will explore existing definitions of CTI, analyze the methodologies employed in CTI research and practice, and examine the available standards and framework for CTI implementation. Furthermore, the paper will identify key research challenges facing the field and offer recommendations for future research to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of CTI in mitigating evolving cybersecurity threats.
Good day everyone, this is Vladimir Ipunding. Now, we choose a journal or research, cyber threat intelligence. So this is the research method of CTI or cyber threat intelligence. So the literature was collected using keyword search on CTI definition, issues and challenges from databases, the eXplore, ECM, and Google Scholar, peer review articles, free literature, and white papers from research were included. Narrative synthesis was used to analyze English language source since 2010. Sources was selected based on the relevance to CTI or cyber threat intelligence or definition of key terms to provide a clear overview of current challenge. So the research methodology employed a target literature review to analyze the issue and challenges in cyber threat intelligence or CTI. So search strategy and selection criteria. So the researchers gathered information on the definition, issues, and challenge of CTI or the cyber threat intelligence by performing keywords search. This use academic databases such as eXplore in the ECM digital library and identifying relevant citation and references. So the keywords used for searching included a cyber threat intelligence and actionable intelligence. So the researchers also search for gray literature including government's documents, reports from private organizations, and consultations. Research approach step. First, collect gray and academic literature. Identify resources known to the researchers team. 2 is read literature. First is structured information and definition issues and challenges in CTI. 3 is follow-up references and links. Link. Expanded the number of relevant sources. 4. Search. Databases. Search academic and gray literature using key terms. So 5 is read literature. Extracted information and definition issues and challenges in CTI. So 6 is synthesis and reporting. Combined and reported the findings. Data analysis. Due to CTI or cyber threat intelligence being a relatively new topic, white papers shared report, software vulnerabilities, and public information sharing platforms research for relevant information. The systematic review involved a narrative synthesis by summarizing, comparing, and constructing data from literature written in English since 2022. So inclusion and exclusion criteria to ensure relevance. The research process assess articles based on whether they directly address a specific aspect of a cyber threat intelligence or CTI, or provided a definition. Sources that did not directly relate to CTI or cyber threat intelligence, or only provided a general overview, were excluded. So the requirements were used to achieve the concise introduction to the immediate challenges and issues in facing cyber threat intelligence.
So as you can see in our screen, the first sentence is there is no consensus on the exact definition of CTI, or what we call the cyber threat intelligence. This means that different people have different ideas of what cyber threat intelligence or CTI means. It is because there is no single official definition that everyone agrees on. The second sentence is CTI is often misused or vaguely defined by vendors and organizations. Meaning to say, many companies or organizations say they offer CTI, but they don't always explain it clearly or use it correctly. They might use the term of sound advance, even if it's not real, the CTI or what we call the cyber threat intelligence. So the third one is CTI is becoming a core focus in modern information security. Meaning to say, CTI or what we call the cyber threat intelligence is now a very, very important part of protecting our computer systems. More companies are using it to help stop the cyber attacks. So the fourth one is combines technical and analytical processes to anticipate and respond to cyber incidents. Simple explanations, CTI uses both tools like software and thinking skills like analyzing the data to predict cyber attacks and to respond to them quickly. So as you can see in our screen, there is a common CTI elements. So these are the three key things that make cyber threat intelligence very useful. First is the relevant. It applies to the organization context, meaning to say, the information must match what the company actually needs. It should help with the specific risk the company faces. Second is timely, delivered when needed. Meaning to say, the information must arrive at the right time, especially before or during an attack, so the company can act it quickly. So the third one and the last is actionable, supports decision making. So simple explanation, the information should be clear enough to help someone make decision and take it an action, like blocking a hacker or fixing a weak spot in security. So let's proceed. So now I will gonna discuss to you about the cyber attacks and the cyber threat. But firstly, I will gonna tell you how cyber threat is. So originally, the possibility or the potential risk of the malicious activity aimed at harming a computer network or systems. Meaning to say, a cyber threat is not an actual attack yet. It means there is a chance or risk that someone might try to harm a computer system. Think of it like a warning or danger sign. The threat could come from hackers or viruses or any software that might be used to attack or damage the systems in the future. For example, a hacker is planning to break into your system but has not done it yet. That's a cyber threat. So, the second slide or sentence is cyber attack. So, originally, an actual attempt by hackers or malicious actors to damage, disrupt, or destroy a computer network or systems. So, simple explanation, a cyber attack is when someone actually tries to break into a harm computer systems. It's not just a risk anymore, it's a real action. This could be stealing data, crashing a website, spreading a virus, or locking your files like in ransomware attacks. So, I will give you an example. Just like for example, a hacker sends a virus that shuts down your company websites. That's a cyber attack. To clearly understand what is the differences between the two, or what we call the cyber threat and the cyber attack, is that cyber threat is the possibility, while the cyber attack, it is an action. So let's proceed to the next slide, which is the data, information, and intelligence. So first is the data. Raw, unprocessed, and unfiltered. Comes in the term of symbols, words, numbers, images, and diagrams. Signals, sensory inputs like sound, light, touch, and etc. Collected from the operational environment, has no context or meaning on its own. So, the data, what it is these are the raw facts and figures. They have not been processed or given any meaning yet. Examples: a list of numbers, random words, sounds, or images. Key point. So, data is collected from the world around us, also called the operational environment, but has no meaning yet by itself. Imagine, you have a bunch of puzzle pieces. That's like data. On their own, they don't tell you what the full picture is. Second sentence is the information. Process and organized data, structured in a human-friendly format, adds context, and it's useful for analysis. Helps in identifying patterns or trends. So, meaning to say, this is the data that has been organized and processed to make it understandable. Examples: a report, a chart, or a sentence that explains something. So, key point, information adds context, making it easier to understand and use. So, now, imagine putting some of those pieces together so you can see part of the picture. That's information is starting to make sense. So, number 3 is the intelligence. Analyze and refine information. Must be relevant, valuable, and actionable. Produce through human analysis. Supports decision-making and cybersecurity. Operations like detection, prevention, and response. So, the explanation of this is an information that has been deeply analyzed to support decisions and actions. So, examples. A cybersecurity report that tells a company how to stop a hacker, or a market analysis that helps a business decide what to sell. So, key point, intelligence must be, relevant, fits the current situation. Next is valuable, helps solve a problem. Third is actionable, can be used to make decision. This is like finishing the puzzles. You clearly see the full pictures and you can do something with it. So, for you to understand, I will discuss to you the data, information, and intelligence. So, the data is the puzzle pieces. The information is part of the puzzle put together. Intelligence is the full picture ready to help you to take an action.
Good day, classmates and Ma'am Mary Rose. My name is Bernie Dolatre. I tackle about the cyber threat intelligence issue and challenges. Standards. This ensures consistency and interoperability in how threat data is represented and exchanged. Standards is enhancing the effectiveness of cyber threat intelligence by providing frameworks for data sharing and analysis. Here are some key. One is structured threat information expression, which means STIX, or structured format for threat information. This is a standardized language for describing cyber threats. Think of it is a common vocabulary for security professionals to share information about malware, attacks, and vulnerabilities. Instead of using informal descriptions, STIX uses a structured format, making threat data easier to analyze, share, and automate responses. The key benefit is consistency and interoperability across different security tools and organizations. Example, may isang news ng STIX tungkol sa isang phishing attack. Maaari ding maglaman ng information gaya ng ang phishing email ay naglalaman ng malicious link. Ito ay nagli-lead sa isang peking website ng isang kilalang bangko. Ang malware na dinadownload din natin ay mula sa link ay mayroon siyang hash na example like insert hash here. Ang STIX format ay nagbibigay ng isang standardized na paraan na nagsasabi nito na ginagawang mas madaling maunawa at magamit ng iba. Next is trusted automated exchange of intelligence information, or TAXII, which means protocol to share threat data securely. This is a protocol or a set of rules for securely exchanging STIX data. It's the how to share the information defined by STIX. TAXII or TAXII ensure ensures that threat intelligence is shared by safely and efficiently between different systems and organizations. It handles the technical aspects of secure transmission and authentication and authorization. Example, gamit natin yung TAXI, TAXII or Trusted Automated Exchange of Intelligence Information. May isang company ng bangko na sinisecure talaga yung mga account doon. Ang maaari din magpadala ng update ang STX sa mga client nito para automatic na-update nila yung kanilang mga system ng bangko nila, security, laban sa mga bagong natuklasang mga threat. Ginagawa nitong secure at efficient ang pagbabagi ng information ng TXII. Next is Cyber Observable Expression or CyBOX. Describes observable cyber events. These standards describes the characteristics of cyber objects involved in an incident. These observables can be things like mga IP address, file hashes, domain names, or URLs. CyBOX provides a structured way to represent these objects, enabling automated analysis and correlation of threat data. If STIX is the what of a threat, CyBOX is the how it looks in terms of technical artifacts. Example, ang CyBOX ay maaaring mag-describe ng isang malicious na file na may mga karakteristik gaya ng ang file ay may hash na insert hash here. Laki ng file is 10 MB at trying to connect in IP address na 192.168.1.100, support na 80. Ang detailed na information na ito ay nakakatulong siya sa pag-identify at pag-analyze ng mga cyber threat. Okay, next is incident. Object Description Exchange Format or IODEF CIRID, which means President Exchange and Communication. These are standards for sharing incident reports. They provide a structured way to document the details of a security incident, including what happened, when and how it was handled. This format aids in efficient investigation, response, and collaboration amongst teams and organizations. The different version IODEF, SCIRID represent that the variations or extensions to the core standards. Example nito ay yung pagkatapos ng isang data breach, ang isang ulat ng IODEF ay maaaring maglaman ng information gaya ng ang data breach naman ay it is a security incident, sensitive or protected information or exposed to unauthorized individuals or parties. Ang mga attacker ay nakakakuha ng access sa pamagitan ng method. Ang IODEF naman ay yung nagbibigay ng isang standardized na format para sa pag-ulat ng mga insidente. The last is Open Indicators of Compromise Framework, Open IOC varies, which means vendor-specific and collaborative standards. This is frameworks for sharing indicators of compromise. IOC, IOC are specific pieces of evidence indicating a potential compromise, such as a malicious file, hash, or a suspicious network connection. Open IOC and Berries provide structured ways to share and analyze. IOCs fostering collaboration in threat detection and response. Yung Berries naman is in particular is vendor specific and collaborative, highlighting its focus on community input and shared threat intelligence. Ang example naman nito ay ang isang open IOC feed ay naglalaman din sila ng isang list or listahan ng mga malicious IP address na ginagamit ng mga group of grupo yun sa mga hacker. Ang mga organizations naman ay maaaring gumamit ng information ito para i-block yung mga hacker ang mga IP address na ito sa kanila mga firewall. Pinipigilan din nila yan yung mga potential o possible na pag-atake. Ang Berries naman ay maaaring magbigay ng mas detalyadong report ng mga insidente. Nagbibigay din ng perspective o pattern at para maiwasan yung pag-atake ng cyber threat. That's all. Thank you.
So good morning everyone, my name is Joshua Kayat. I'm from BTVTED Drafting Technology. So my topic would be the tools in cyber threat intelligences. So we all know that there is many tools and standard proposed and under development in CTI. Tools in cyber threat intelligences. So dahil sa dami ng mga cyber threat, mahalaga ang threat intelligences tools para matulungan ang mga organizations at security professionals sa pag-manage ng mga threat data kasi kung wala ito, pwede maging magulo at mahirap kontrolin ang daming impormasyon. So the first tools that we can use is the Open Threat Exchange or the OTX. So it's created by Alien Vault. It is a public platform that facilitates sharing and research and threat intelligences. Next tools is the Malware Information Sharing Platform or the MISP. So it is developed by CIRL. MISP is a trusted platform for sharing indicators of compromise and other threat information. So the third tools that we can use is the Collective Intelligence Framework or the CIF. CIF developed by Ren Isaac. CIF is a client-server system designed for sharing enterprise-level threat intelligence data. It allows also the collection and storage of threat indicators like IP address, domain names, and URLs. The fourth tools that we can use is the McAfee. It is a threat intelligence exchange. McAfee Platforms provides a full service that supplies virus definitions or DAT files. Next is Common Platform Enumeration or CPE and Common Configuration Enumeration or CCE. So, it is used to identify hardware and software platform. For example, kung may bug sa isang specific na version ng operating system, matutulungan ka ng CPE na matukoy ito. While yung CCE naman is used to classify security configuration tulad ng mga settings o patch sa isang system.
CTI helps companies gather and analyze information about cyber threat so they can make smarter decisions and respond more effectively. But even though CTI can be very helpful, it also comes with some challenges. I'm Irene Oliveros from BSED-ENGLISH, and in this presentation, I'll be going to talk about the main issues and Challenges of using cyber threat intelligence according to the article. Let's start with the first challenge. Threat data overload, meaning too much data. Threat information is coming in from everywhere. Websites, reports, tools, and platforms. It's so much that organizations often feel overwhelmed. And because there's so much of it, it's hard to tell what's useful and what's not. That's why many companies use noise and focus on what really matters. Second challenge is threat data quality, or the quality of the data. A lot of threat data is unclear, incomplete, or even wrong. And if an organization makes decisions based on bad data, it can lead to poor security choices. So to fix this, companies need better ways to check the accuracy of the data they receive.
Good day, ma'am. As I continue in the issues and challenges in CTI, so the challenge number 3 is privacy and legal concerns. So, organizations fear reputations damage from sharing sensitive threat data and legal ambiguities around what data can be shared. So, therefore, privacy and legal issues is an issue to consider that relates to how the data can be shared and which laws govern the sharing of the data. Kasi maraming mga organizations maingat or they are wary of sharing information that could reflect some negatively on their brand. So, maraming mga companies din na they are hesitant to share information dahil na din sa takot of a reputation damage that may arise from disclosing attack information. Kasi sa dami-dami ng could access from the internet is hindi rin maiiwasan yung mga threat and some hackers that could mislead their information about their brand. So, as for now, TISP already provide a preliminary functionalities to establish a trust or pagtitiwala between the different organizations. So, however, it is limited to a group-based access control and ranking mechanism. The challenge number 4, wherein it is the interoperability of the issues in the TISP. Okay, so it is the incompatibility among different platforms and standards. So, MITRE set a standards of STIX, taxi, cybox that it is proposed a solution. Okay, so Vasquez et al. Said he raised an interoperability issue that faced by existing threat sharing platform. So the various standard and format used by threat sharing platform hindered the producer and receiver speak seamlessly to each other due to data extension is not supported by the use application. Okay, so nagkaroon ng initiative ang MITRE group. So they develop 3 specification standards, namely cybox, STIX, and taxi. So yung cybox its acronym is Cyber Observable Expression. So that is cybox. And then yung second naman is STIX, or Structured Threat Information Expression. And then yung third is a taxi, Trusted Automated Exchange of Indicator Information. Okay, so by adapting to the standard introduced by the MITRE, so interoperability issue between threat sharing peers can be solved. So, ito yung nakita nila na how to solve this kind of threat in the issue in the TISP. So, they have an initiative na gumawa sila ng nagdevelop sila ng three specification standards na niname nila yung Cybox, TICS, and TAXI. So, however, if there is no data standard can be established between peers due some constraint, so data transformation can come in handy.
Cyber threat intelligence or CTI adoption is still in its early stages, and further explanation or research development are necessary to realize its potential. This paper reviews available literature that discusses the existing definitions of cyber threats intelligence or CTI and the current states of development for common languages and tools in CTI or cyber threats intelligence. A recommendation of this study, organization can implement threat sharing platforms to manage the large volume of threat feeds and hire qualified threat data analysis to analyze, process, and turn threat data into actionable intelligence. Community members should validate threat data to ensure sufficient quality when shared among members. Research and development centers like MITRE are developing standards such as STIX, TAXI, and Cybox for threat intelligence sharing to tackle interoperability issues between threat and sharing peers.